coming today. Welcome to Barnes Noble, and this should be a lot of fun with Joe Garagiola.
You know what? I don't know what to talk about. You guys got any questions about anything? I'll tell you about water heaters and.
What's your first year? 46.
Well, first year what?
With Cardinals.
Yes, I got out of the Army in May of '46. I was on the American side. No, Medwick wasn't there. You're getting way back there now. No, but we had musical at first.
I remember when I saw you in Chicago. My first baseball game, Cardinals and Cubs.
It's too bad. Let's pray for the Cub fans. You know, Cub fans are 99% scar tissue. Do you know?
No Cub fan, no way.
What are you now?
Was Milwaukee.
Not was. What are you now?
Right here.
What is that?
Diamondbacks.
Oh, okay, then you're all right. You think they'll trade Valverde?
I hope not.
See how he dodged that? I said, do you think they're? I hope not, huh?
How many heart attacks does Valverde cause?
You know what? He really makes excitement. He's one of the most exciting pitchers. He comes in and he goes, wait a minute, don't clap it. There's nobody on base, and he puts two guys on base. They only need one run. Are you kidding me? He gives you agita if you're not even Italian, for crying out loud. Yeah, they're talking about him, I heard, though. Yeah. Yes.
Will we be broadcasting games next year also?
I don't have a contract with. Look at that lady over there.
Need a contract.
You know,
All right, everybody needs to call the D-backs front office.
No, you know.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. These guys today will get these guaranteed contracts. It makes it easy. When the security in your life is your ability. I mean, that's it. If they want me, they're going to call me back. If they don't, you know what? I'll just get my little books and I'll be willing to. I'll be making house calls. That's what I'll be doing. I love doing the games, especially because I don't have to really do that much research. You know, Game of the Week, it was different. We had a different team each week, and so you had to really bear down. But with the Diamondbacks, are you kidding? It's like falling out of bed. And especially with these young guys, you don't know what the hell they're going to do. I'll tell you. Is that God? You know, like last year, I don't know how many you were at that game. The two plays I'll always remember is Chris Young. He's at second base, he steals, and all of a sudden he just decides to go to the dugout. And so they go over and they say, you know what, you got to stay on that bag. And then they tell you. And the other one was Stephen Drew, you remember? He thought it was a double play and he thought he was out, and so umpire called him safe, and he just got up. That was the great thing about the Diamondbacks last year to me, was the unpredictability. You never knew. You'd sit there and you'd say, now wait a minute, he just walked two guys ahead of him. This guy's got to take a strike. Are you kidding? He was swinging like, oh! But that's what baseball really is. It's unpredictability and the fun of the game. And you know, you got to say things to agitate guys to get some byplay, not trash talk. I hate that trash talk.
What frustrates me, Joe?
What?
At the game.
Oh, you're nosy, you know that?
What your opinion, because you're in the old ballpark like I am, and they have time they're behind, late innings, they don't take a strike. That frustrates me. Oh my God.
You're preaching to the choir.
Right?
You know, I got to tell you, I go with my wife and I. We bought season tickets. People don't believe that, but I'm telling you the truth, because when Joe was the general manager, everybody thought I got free tickets. You're not going to call and get free tickets. I buy my tickets. I can afford them, and so I do. So my wife and I go a lot. And I'll sit there and I'll see things happen that I just cannot believe. I said, when I was playing, for example, they had a take sign. That meant when the pitcher threw the ball, you took it. It's as simple as all that, okay? These guys, they'd be 10 runs behind. Guy walks two guys, first pitch swinging, double play, and here we go home again. And I'll tell you, I was with the Cubs. This is the truth. To show you why, people ask me, you know, why did you quit? Well, to be very honest with you, I was 29 years old when I quit. And I want you ladies to know I was a hottie.
Still are.
It took her 10 minutes before. You see that thing pausing? I was saying, boy, if I say that, somebody's going to jump right on top of that. And I'll have to think about it. But anyhow, I quit because we weren't making any money. But the most money I ever made after 12 years in the big leagues was $11,000. And you know, guys say, oh, money went a long way in those days. Yeah, it went a long way. Sure it did. It went about as far as from here to there. But anyhow, in the wintertime, we had jobs. One year I sold cars. That's not a fire alarm, is it? I'm not ready to go, I'll tell you that. You ready to go? Nobody's ready to go, you know? I'll get back to that story in a minute. You know, I told the priest the other day, he keeps talking about making the journey, making the journey. I said, let me tell you something. You tell God I want to make that journey, but I'm not homesick. No way. Anyhow, one year Yogi and I sold Christmas trees. And what? Yeah, I should have seen that little act. I'll let you in on something. You know what we used to have? We used to have signals because the guy that used to bug us was the guy who always came rushing in on Christmas Eve, and he was half stiff from Christmas parties. And I got to buy a tree for my kids, and that would make Yogi mad and upset me. So we would really stick it to him. It was for charity anyhow. And what we would do, we'd get a tree and have one bad side, and he'd say, "Can I see the whole tree?" I'd say, "Sure." And we had signals. If I touched anything above my waist, high price, and if I was below my waist, low price, see? So I'd say to that guy, $27. He's $27 for a Christmas tree? Come on, it's for charity, and which it was. And he said, oh, I said, I'll tell you what, you think that's too high? I'll call Yogi over. Yo, give him a price on that tree, will you? He said, $38. That guy about fainted. But anyhow, that's what we did, and then that's why I quit. But there are a lot of reasons why you're playing that you quit. For example, when you're on the team and they're going to take the team picture and they don't tell you. That's a hint. Or like you're familiar with, you know, you try to protect yourself as much as you can as a catcher, and the only way I can say you wear a cup, and you know why I wear a cup. Well, when the clubhouse guy leaves it in the dryer and it starts to melt, that tells you. Or when it's raining and they tell you, hey, can you go out and get the rosin bag? It's getting wet. That's another. Here was the clincher. I'm with the Cubs. And Phil Cavaretta was our manager. And he was a fiery guy, boy. And we're playing the Phillies, and Kurt Simmons is pitching. If you don't remember Kurt Simmons, he's really what they call a herky-jerky. I mean, he would give you all you'd see is elbows and fingernails and kneecaps, and he'd hide the ball so well. I couldn't hit him if he held the ball up there. And so anyhow, McCullough had gotten hurt in the fourth inning. I go in to catch, and I come up with the bases loaded, okay? Bottom of the ninth inning, which is great in the Cubs field, because I say the Cubs are the most generous of all teams. You go to Wrigley Field, you're always going to see the bottom of the ninth inning. Anyhow, you do. They don't cheat you there, see? So I'm up there, and before I go up to hit, Cavaretta says two things to me, which he doesn't say to guys like Kiner or Sauer on the team. The first one was, make him pitch, which means take at least one strike. And the other one was, if he wants a hit, you let him. Now, I get up there, and I work the count, believe it or not, to 3 balls and 2 strikes with the bases loaded. If indeed I get a walk, we're going to tie this game. I look down at the third base coach, Ray Blades. He gives me the take sign. I thought, wait a minute, I backed out. You know, I got 2 strikes on me. And so I look at him, he goes, take sign. And I look at him again. He says, ask him. He points to the dugout. So I go up there and I'm hitting. I take the ball, and of course it's a strike. Game is over. And that said to me, I think you ought to look in the classifieds and see if you can find another job. 3 balls, 2 strikes, they give me a takes. And the other embarrassing thing I had in Wrigley Field, everything bad to me happened in Wrigley Field. Now, if you look at the guy on deck, he's always got a donut on the bat, or he's got pine tar, or they got an iron bat or something to make the bat seem light. Well, in the days when I was playing as a dinosaur, what you did, you got 2 or 3 bats and you swung them. It would make your bat feel light. So I was on the on-deck circle, and there's always a crowd there at Wrigley Field. Lord, they get 15,000 drunks going to watch them cut the grass. So I'm on the on-deck circle, and Bill Serena was the batter. He pops up, makes the second out, and now it's my turn, right? So I take one last swing, and I throw the bats away. All of them. I walk up to home plate, and Rube Walker, the Dodgers, is catching. I said, Rube, did you steal my bat? He said, no, but I'm going to watch you go back and get one. And I went back, got it, and you know what happened. As usual, I got called out on a 3rd strike, and from the home plate to the dugout, that's all I heard. What'd you take a bat for? You didn't need a bat. Hit with a ballpoint pen. Oh, God. I forgot what the question was, but I hope I answered it. Yes, ma'am.
What do you think about their talks about instant replay for baseball?
You talk about the camera.
Right, to determine a home run ball.
Yeah, well, I think that's good. I really do, because it's tough sometimes. I don't want to see it on balls and strikes, and I don't want to see it on close play. I like for the umpire to call it, because that's when you really get the funny stuff. I mean, and the human element in there. I got a story in the book, and that's all the book is. I mean, I just got sick and tired of hearing about steroids and human growth hormones, and Barry Bonds telling me he didn't take anything. Yeah, that's right. Like the Pope doesn't have holy water, you know? And that's why I wrote the book, and they're all stories. I got one in there, you know. You go to the game, there's a lot of things happen that, as a fan, and there's no reason you should know. We're on the field, we played, so we see these things happen. Managers usually have a signal with their first baseman on plays if the dugout is at 3rd base. For example, Bob Melvin has got the worst seat in the ballpark because he's at 3rd base for a play at 1st base. So I don't know if he does it or not, but I'd bet on it. Joe Morgan, who used to manage the Red Sox, not the guy on television, he had a signal.
You decline one, please. You decline one.
I'm not going to the music line. And Joe Morgan had a sign with his first baseman. And how many times have you seen an argument with an umpire that lasts maybe 10 seconds, and you say to yourself, what's that all about? Well, there's a play at first base, and the guy is called. I got to get this right now, Joe. And he. You guys want to talk among yourselves? Anyhow, he calls the guy out, and Morgan comes running out of the dugout. And I mean, he thinks the guy is safe, his guy. Now he gets by the first baseman, and he looks at the first baseman, and the first baseman gives him a sign. I thought he was out too. But Morgan now is in no man's land. Where's he going to go? He's got to look like he's really fighting for his team. So he gets right that close to the umpire, and he said, "What'd you call him?" He said, "I called him out." "You damn right he was out." I mean, that to me, Tommy Henrik, the great Tommy Henrik in the World Series, when he told his story, I fell down laughing. He was picked off at second base, and he got up and he ran right to the umpire. He said, Beans Ridge was the umpire. He said, "Please, let me argue with you. I know I'm out, but let me argue with you so the fans think I'm really giving it to you, and let me." And Beans finally said, "All right, but don't stay here too long." So you can't believe that. And umpires are the best. They come up with answers. For example, as a catcher, a lot of times you don't say, "That ball was a strike." And with the guys that I had, like Jock O'Connell, who grew up here, Beans Reardon, Major Kirk, they say, Don't worry about it. If it's a strike, Musial will let you know. He'll be rounding second, so shut up. That's the kind of thing that you would get. But what they do is they'll get you both ways. Like you, let's say you think the pitch here is a strike, and he said it's not a strike, it's shut up. They're always very nice to you. They always tell you to shut up. And now you go up to hit, and that same pitch that you're asking for a strike, he calls it a ball. And I did it a gazillion times. I say, how come when I'm catching, it's a strike, it's not, you don't call it a strike, and when I'm hitting, you call it a strike? He says, you know, I thought about it, and you're a good guy. You're right, that is a strike. Oh, should we get started, or do you want me to keep going?
Keep going. I have one question.
God almighty, I'm on a roll.
Yeah.
What is it, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I have one question. You mentioned Caporetto.
Yes,
I know he
ma'am.
moved down to Texas. Is he still alive?
Yes, he's in Florida, last I
Oh,
heard.
he's in Florida?
Yeah, huh?
Okay. And the reason? No, it's my husband.
Oh, no, I heard Florida, but I know somebody told me he was in Chicago. I don't know. No, not living, visiting.
Yes, because I gotta tell you, I grew up next door to Caporetto. And it was fantastic. He'd bring everyone home to his mom's house.
Sure,
So
free
they
food.
pasta Kosugo, you know?
Sure.
And then he had his pep slow. All the guys would come over. What a thrill. Every Sunday when he was in town.
Did he hit on you?
I was just a child at the time.
No, he is a good guy. I love playing fun. He, you know, he got fired for being honest. We were in Dallas. I was on the club, and Mr. Wrigley, who I never met, I didn't even think there was a Mr. Wrigley. You never saw him. He had a meeting with Cavaretti. He said, what kind of team we're going to have? He said, we're going to finish last.
Oh.
And he called that a defeatist attitude. It was the truth. We finished last, and we did it on merit. Yes.
Who's your number one ball player?
My number one ball player? Well, that's hard to say because there are so many good ones. Even today, there's a lot of good ball players. But the guy that if I had $5, you'd say, Joe, you got to go to a ball game to watch him by Willie Mays. Oh, Willie, it was unbelievable. Well, see, he could do it all. He had great power. He had great speed. He had a great arm, and he played with that enthusiasm. You know.
Yeah, how about Mickey Mantle? Oh,
Well, I didn't see Mantle that much, but he'd be close. But Willie Mays, if you played better than Willie Mays, you had to come down from another league.
Well, you referred to Tommy Henrik as the great. How many players that you played with would you consider great?
Oh, I'd have to sit down and count, but I played with a lot of great ball players. I thought Stan Musial was a great ball player. I thought Kiner was a great home run hitter. These guys today, I'm not knocking them, but I mean, they hit 209, and they say, well, yeah, you got a lot of key hits. I mean, he's 3 points lower than the New York area code, for God's sakes. Yes.
I always thought Bonds was a great player before he made the transition.
Before you ask the question, let me just say this. Bonds is probably, hear me out, the best of controlling a strike zone of anybody I ever saw, because he takes a short, compact swing, and he doesn't get that many good balls to hit. But when he gets a good ball to hit, he hits it. And, you know, I feel bad that his record is going to always be tied to steroids, because he is a good hitter, probably the best hitter in the game.
Well, that was
today.
my question. If he hadn't done any of that, as great a player as he was, how many do you think he would have hit?
That I don't know, you know. I'm just, because people say, I don't know what steroids do to you. I mean, when I played, Lord have mercy, we were lucky to, like Lasorda says, he joined the Montreal club, had a sore arm, and he said, you guys got a whirlpool in here? The trainer said, yeah, go flush the toilet. That was the difference. Put your elbow in and flush it. You know? But these guys today, you go in that Diamondback club, the Cardinals got one, you don't believe, it's like a spa. They got a whirlpool over here for underwater exercising. They got one over here with a bicycle in it. You legs, bicycle, and then you go out, you got your own trainer. When we played in Brooklyn, Ebbets Field, which, you know, they said a lot of tradition, It was an old ballpark, and I mean really old. And we play those day-night doubleheaders. I mean, we play a game in the afternoon, then Mr. Ricky would clear the ballpark out, and they come back at night. So we couldn't leave the ballpark. The rule was the star got to sleep on the training table or take the power nap, whereas the rest of us, you look around and look like a homeless shelter. And you were a big league player. Jackie Robinson's story is the only thing I can tell you of all the players I played against. Jackie Robinson is the only guy that we followed around each base. And a lot of times writers will ask you, they'll say, who's the one guy you don't want to see with the game on the line in the batter's box? And with the Dodgers, they had Campy, they had Hodges, they had Snyder, they had Ferrell. I would always say Jackie. And they say, how can you do that? Snyder can beat you one swing of the bat. No, see, we would walk him. We'd walk Campy. We'd walk Hodges. We know where they are. Jackie would get on first base, and he'd get that big lead. Jackie was not a fast runner, but his acceleration was phenomenal. His first step, he was full speed. And he would make that big wide turn around first base, and he burned Slaughter about 5 times. Dino would throw behind him, he'd go to second. Okay, so they're having a meeting, they say, now don't let him get a walking lead. Don't let him get a walking lead. He gets on second, they'd say, hey, he gets a better jump off second and first, watch it, he likes to do that. He gets on third, he's liable to steal home. So we followed, in fact, in the book, in the Branch Rickey chapter, who's got my book? How come you don't have my book, lady? You gotta buy it for Christmas, come on. Buy 6 of them, I'll make a house call. Branch Rickey, I got it in there, I'm looking for it. I was doing game of Cardinal games, and Mr. Rickey's one of my heroes because I was with him in St. Louis, and I was with him in Pittsburgh, and ballpark. He diagrammed Jackie Robinson. I won't have it word for word, but like he said, Jackie is not afraid to fail, and he's going to get a lead. He's got a lead. He said he's baiting him, and I'm sitting there and I'm really just riveted. He said he's baiting him, and he's not looking at him. First mistake, because if he doesn't look at him and thinks his peripheral vision is going to do it, he's going to get burned, because Jackie will take 2 more steps, and if he gets those 2 steps, he's at the point where he knows he can make it. My golly, he got the 2 steps, took off, and Mr. Rickey got excited. He said, he's going to make it, he's going to make it, and he did. See, Jackie, he was a tough baseman, and don't think for 1 minute that Jackie was like Mr. Rickey said, he turned his cheek every time. No, he was a battler. He was a battler. He was tough. He was tough.
Okay, Joe's going to sign books up here.
You know, when I did a signing with Yogi at his museum, and he'd say, quit talking to him. You're taking too long. And then he said, don't put their name in it, just put yours in it. And I said, shut up. He's getting to be a curmudgeon is what he's getting to be.
In there, Travis, my grandson.
T-R-A-V-I-N?
Yes, sir.
Pay for a book of full money.
He grew up in St. Louis too.
Kids used to copy that.
I have one here, but I'll take another one that's autographed. Thank you, Joe. Very much, buddy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your
Enjoy
help.
hearing you. Enjoyed everything you do.
All right.
I'm donating a book for baseball.
Aren't you great?
Thank you.
All right.
You're a great example to young people and adults.
Well, thank you for your generosity.
Thank
Those kids
you.
need a week.